Well, as Tony Davoren is about to tell us, the drought is not over yet.
No, in some parts of Canterbury it's not over. If you go north of, probably north of about the Selwyn River, I mean, there's while the southern areas have been getting some reasonable rains, 10, 15 millimetres a week, really. By the time you get into North Canterbury, we've had zero rainfall. So when you go north of here, it's still pretty grim, and it's still pretty grim in the Wairarapa. Hawke's Bay got a pretty good bit of rain out of Cyclone Pam. Gisborne got a good rainfall out of that. Parts of Waikato got virtually nothing again, so they're still not much better off than they were last time we spoke. So yeah, it's not over. I think we're probably still looking at another month. I think we've probably got another month of irrigation if people have got water to irrigate with. That's the other big issue right now. The two big rivers are on restrictions. And very severe restrictions. I mean, the Rakaia River's been on zero allocation for Band 3 in the last 10 days. So we've still got some issues with getting through the early part of this autumn or the middle part of this autumn with water.
You're at the field days and you've dug a trench.
Yeah, we have dug a hole. I mean, the hardest thing to talk to people about is soil moisture. If you're standing on the surface, everybody would look at this and say, "Ooh, it's dry." But in fact, it may not be so dry. So a couple of years ago, we had a bit of a brainstorm about how we could get people to look at soil moisture. So we decided we would dig a trench in our marquee so that we can install our sensors and our neutron probe and see exactly how those things work in the soil. We've built a couple of electronic displays which demonstrate how the different types of sensors work in the soil. It certainly attracts people's attention. They realise either how much or how little they're actually measuring in the soil when they see them operating. And it's a good talking point to them, and we can demonstrate to them why you need to do things in certain parts of the soil.
We've come a long way from kicking at the top of the soil and seeing if there's a bit of dust coming up.
Oh, absolutely, we've come a long way. I mean, if we go back to the 80s when we were doing this, it was mind-blowing that we could put an access tube in the ground and see what was happening underneath. And that was enlightening for a lot of farmers, but now there's so much technology out here that can be in real time or near real time for them to look at to make management decisions from. And I think probably this year in particular, with the particularly when you've got annual volumes that limit what you can use each year, making very, very good decisions by having some good soil moisture monitoring is absolutely critical.
You must be blown away with the technology.
Oh yeah, we started out with a neutron probe and a pencil and paper writing reports for farmers, and now they can get all of that stuff online. They can get it on their smartphones. They can get alerts on their smartphones. They can get it's just endless what you can do with technology now, and the various types of technologies we've got now just allow them to be making real-time decisions all the time about what they're actually doing.
And quite a few farmers now, Tony, are involving their staff on their own little iPads and such.
Yes, if you get onto some of those farms where they're very tech savvy, their staff have got that sort of material there so that they can see on anywhere on the farm, even if it's on the top of the hill that's the only hill on the property that's got cell phone reception. They can go up there and eat their lunch and see what's going on and make their decisions about what they're going to do as far as water is concerned, or a whole range of things, what they can do with various sensors that are in the ground. Yeah.
And I guess with any single farm, you've got some paddocks with some soil types and others with others, and then there's the north and the south side facing as far as hills are concerned?
Oh, absolutely. North and south facing is absolutely critical when you get into rolling country. So if you go into the likes of the North Otago schemes and some of the stuff in the North Island, where you've got downland country, absolutely important to know what's going on your south facing slopes and your north facing slopes. And right on the top, because the top has had all the topsoil eroded off it, either down the north side or down the south side, and they are very different beasts.
Is it easy for farmers to learn?
It is. I think it's, for those top 15 to 20%, they grasp this very, very quickly and understand and make use of it. For some, it's a very daunting prospect to get involved in this. It's surprising the number of a number of farmers still that we deal with that aren't computer literate. It's either the wife or the son or the daughter that's the computer literate person, and it has to be translated second hand to the person that actually makes the decisions on the farm.
But it still works.
It still works.